So this is a video I wanted to make for a while, but I wasn't able to really, understand the actual meaning of the word, but now I kind of know what it should mean. So what a lot of people think objectively optimal means is that it's going to be the best alg for everyone no matter what, and that isn't the true definition. So the problem with that definition is people's hand sizes are different, for example, and maybe their fingers are thicker or thinner. Like everyone's hand shape is like a little bit different. It can't be exactly the same. And the the dexterity would also be different. However, that is something you can improve. But anyways, what I mean is objectively optimal shouldn't mean that. Instead, it just should mean something that you know is potentially the best, and not necessarily for everyone, but for most people. And an alg might not be objectively optimal at the moment because you wouldn't know. And since you don't know, you shouldn't be calling it objectively optimal. But once you do, for example, this, obviously you would just do that, right? It is an objectively optimal alg for every single person. There's not a single person that would not like this and use a different alg only. Like, no one would do something different only for the sock. Like, there would never be someone that only uses something like this. Oh wait, that's the mirror. There's no one that would use something like only this. Like, why would you do that? Or only do something like, I don't know, that, which is worse. They would just do this. And this one is a truly objectively optimal. So the second term, which should be the actual meaning of the term, is something that you know is optimal, but not everybody is able to do it at the moment. So for example, it could also be a concept. It could be an alg. So something like pseudo-slotting is a concept that is objectively optimal, not in the way that everybody can get used to it and it would be fastest for everybody, but in the way that it would be optimal when you're talking about the highest potential of the concept. So for example, Timon has the 5.09 world record average and he uses pseudo-slotting a lot. So we know that the highest potential of this is better than any other way. However, that doesn't mean that it's objectively the best. It just means that objectively we know that someone can do it the best and they can do it consistently. So that's what I think should be the definition. And once again, it could apply to an alg. I'm going to think of an alg that is more suitable for this case. Let's see. Honestly, maybe one of the dot OLLs actually. Something like this. So, might not be the best example actually, because the inverse, the standard is worse. So yeah, for this one, right? This one, this, like doing the hedge and then S prime, R prime, R prime, S, is the objectively optimal alg, not in the sense that it would be the fastest for everyone, but in the sense that it has the fastest potential consistently and in a solve. If you don't consider the facts consistently and in a solve, then it's not objectively optimal. It's just objectively optimal like 10% of the time, which means it's actually not optimal. But if it's something that can be always in a solve, or as an alg should be, because there's always times we're going to lock up even if the alg is super easy. So that's what I mean. Like, even if you mess up an alg once in a solve, it doesn't mean it's bad, because there's literally the solve yesterday where I messed up this OLL. Doesn't mean this alg is not optimal. No, it just means that I messed up once. And an objectively optimal alg, you might mess up once, but if you mess it up more, then you should mess it up. And you see that once you add the mess up to the time and consider how many times you mess it up, it would add up. And if it's more than the alg that is more known, the one that isn't called objectively optimal, then it would be worse. So, yeah. And also, should have chose the cube like this. easier. That one's a little bit too small. So, yeah, can do the sound better on this. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you think of the concept that I'm talking about. If you don't understand, then ask in the comments what part you don't understand. I can explain it to you. Or if you disagree for whatever reason, you can let me know in the comments. But yeah, this is what I actually think of objectively optimal. So to recap, the more popular definition of objectively optimal is the best thing for every single person. And that's not even what objective means. Objective just means for most people. But even then, there are algs that are objectively and includes every single person, and it's optimal for every single person, like this one. You wouldn't want to do anything else for that, especially maining something else. But yeah, that's what I think about the first definition, and it shouldn't be used that much. The second definition should actually be used because we don't really need to find a term for algs that everybody uses, everybody knows, everybody uses them as their main. There's no point. The actual term should be for something like a concept like pseudo-slotting. It's objectively optimal in the sense that everyone knows it has the highest potential, and not only the highest potential, it has proven to be the highest form. Like it has proven to be the best, like pseudo-slotting. Doesn't mean that everybody learned it. Doesn't mean that everybody can do it, and doesn't mean it's optimal for everybody. But it means that it has the highest potential and has been proven to be the best. Something like this alg, same thing. It has proven to be the best. Doesn't mean that everybody can use it, etc. And though to a lesser extent, RUS UPerm, had to mention it. Something like this. You know, many people have done it 0.4. I've done it 0.400. Same with John Smith and also Q for speed. And there's definitely other people that have done it. In a solve, 0.4 frame counted. And still, what I mean is technically, it's optimal because we know that it has the highest potential. Nobody can do an MU UPerm in 0.4. Nobody can do a RU UPerm in 0.4 in a solve. And also, we also know that it's consistent, and consistent meaning the person that can do it. Of course, it's not going to be consistent for everybody, but for the person that can do it. So, yeah, we should consider objectively optimal as the term for the highest potential of something that has been proven, rather than something that hasn't been proven and something that you talk about everyone. So, hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, I will try to re-explain it. I hope I went slow enough. If not, then please ask some questions. I'll be happy to help. So yeah, thanks for watching.